Good morning, all. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to Piedmont Unitarian Universalist Church. Piedmont UU sits on the traditional land of the Catawba, Keawe, and Shuguri peoples. We honor them. My name is Elaine Deck, and I will be the worship assistant this morning for the Reverend Dr. Amy Rio. We are a flourishing, vibrant, and radically welcoming congregation which promotes diversity, inclusion, and social justice. We provide a safe haven for creative intellectual growth, spiritual development, and a very deep sense of community for all who join us. We hope that our liberal religious values will challenge you to join us as a community that lives boldly and acts justly. To all of our visitors and our members, we're very glad you're here, whether in person or with us online, and we do hope to see you again. Your presence is a gift to us. A few announcements this morning. The University Women's Group will meet this coming Saturday here at the church at 11:30. Please bring a food item to share, and all are welcome. Our church will have an annual interfaith Thanksgiving dinner with our friends at John Calvin Presbyterian Church on Wednesday, November 20th at 6 p.m. at the Salisbury Gathering. Please bring a non-pork dish to share, and we'll be taking an offering for a local family who has immigrated from Syria. Reverend Shakisha Gray will be offering a 1-hour healing circle this Thursday evening, November 14th, at 7 p.m. via Zoom. The intention of this circle is to offer a safe place for us to come together, process our emotions in the wake of the unknown, and find support from our UU companions during this divisive political season. In the interest of fostering a safe community, the circle is limited to 12 persons, so with an option for another circle at a future time, should the response be great enough. We will have time to express our feelings, to listen to others, and engage in practices that foster healing, empathy, and compassion, and support for one another. Please look in the weekly announcements on Tuesday of this week for a link to sign up. Whatever brought you to this place at this hour, we welcome you. May you find something that you need, and may you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived.
It's good to be with everyone here this morning. I do have a cold that hit me all of a sudden on Friday, so I know I sound awful. I feel fine, but I just want you to bear with me with my voice today. So, as we prepare to light our chalice, the flame might look singular, but in fact, it consists of an infinite number of molecules of carbon dioxide, water vapor, oxygen, nitrogen. Just as the single flame is made of a multiplicity, so it reminds us that we as individuals are united as one spiritual body, and we are the stronger for it. Please join me now in singing the words to lighting our chalice, the symbol of our faith. I invite you now to please rise and body your spirit for our call to worship found in your bulletin. Here is where you can lay it down. Lay down all that you have carried, the weight of the world that has rounded your back, leaving you aching and exhausted.
Here is where healing begins, where burdens are set down, and alongside one another's, their magnitude does not seem as great.
Here is where the door is thrown open and the light can lift away the shadows, and what was hidden can now be seen.
Here is where you can rest, where nothing is expected, but you can recall who you are into the presence of the holy and of this loving community.
Let us worship together. Our opening hymn is found in our great hymnal, number 121, We'll Build a Land. May be seated, and I invite any young ones who want to come forward. We have a time with Miss Madia up here. So.
Yes. Good morning. So I had a completely different plan today, and then Miss Connie, who I met, who was with us at Salisbury this morning, donated this book, and I read it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. We have to read this. But it requires a little bit of help to read, so I'm going to need you to help me. I'm going to need you to help me if you can. So when I point at you, I need you to honk like a goose. Can we all practice that? Ready? Oh my gosh, that was perfect. Can you honk? Perfect. Can you honk? Yes. Great. So this is Hank Goes Honk. by Maudie Powell Tuck and Duncan Beatty. This is Hank, the goose. Sometimes Hank is impatient and obnoxious. Obnoxious means extremely unpleasant, which means not nice. How can a goose be obnoxious? Oh, just you wait and see. Hank interrupts everybody. So if I tell you a really great story about you won't hear see what I mean? That Hank, what an obnoxious goose. It gets worse. Hank takes the cherries from the cupcakes. He talks about himself all the time. He, in the library, and during movies, and whatever you do, don't let him near your books or your balloon. What do you think's about to happen? What do you think he's gonna do to the balloon? He's gonna pop it. Bang! Classic Hank. But being obnoxious can't always be fun, can it, Hank? Doesn't it leave you feeling a little lonely? So maybe it's time for a change. Time for a whole new Hank. Time to take turns, listen to others, and share toys. High five, Hank. You're being very considerate. Considerate means thinking of others. We are so proud of you. Cuddling babies, helping others across the street, playing with all your new friends, and not popping Bunny's beautiful big red balloon. Hank, do you think he's gonna do it? Do you think he's gonna pop it again? Yeah, you think so? Bang! We know you're disappointed in yourself, Hank, but don't. Hank, it's okay. You really tried. Let's start again. Take a deep breath. That's it. And, not what I was expecting. I was not expecting you to blow up a new balloon for Bunny. Such a big blue, utterly poppable new balloon to say you're sorry. But Hank, you aren't going to pop it, are you? So one of the reasons I picked this book is because a really long time ago, I don't know if you would remember this, it was weeks and weeks ago, we sat here and we talked about love, and we colored in little hearts, and we talked about all the different ways to show people that you love them. In fact, I have one of Amanda's hearts in my office right now, hanging on the wall. She colored it for me and she gave it to me, which was such a kind thing to do. And I wanted to read this book today because it talks about the importance of being kind. And when we're kind, that's how we show our friends and our community that we love them and that we care about them. So, was Hank kind at the start of the book? When he was stealing things and interrupting people, is that kind? No. But did he learn? Yeah. He learned how to not interrupt people. He learned how to not pop other people's balloons. What are things you can do that are kind? Helping someone, that's right. If they have a problem, you can help them out. What are other ways? Amanda, can you think of a way to be kind?
Share stuff and give cards to the teacher.
That is very kind. Sharing things and giving cards to your teachers. As a teacher myself, we do appreciate the handmade cards that say thank you. We do love those. What about when you're at school and you see someone who doesn't have someone to play with? What can we do to be kind to them?
Ask if they want to play with you.
Yeah, invite them to join you. That's a great way to be kind and to show people that you care and that you're thinking about them. So let's keep this in mind as some of us go back to the nursery, and our elementary-aged students are going to join me for some elementary RE across the hall. So let's go.
We now move into our time for ritual and sacred sharing. We can share joys and sorrows, concerns and milestones. Now, the first candle I want to light is one of great joy today. I think many of you know Jesse and Aaron, who joined our church last spring. They were married yesterday. It was a perfect, beautiful day. And did you know there's a bamboo forest in Belmont? I did not know that. Some of y'all know that. It was, but we had a wonderful celebration for that ceremony yesterday. So we certainly light a great candle of joy for them. We also continue to light a candle for everyone who's been impacted by the recent hurricanes and for the ongoing recovery effort. For everyone impacted by the devastating flooding in Spain. For the relief of the people of Gaza. For all areas of violence around the world, especially Haiti, the Sudan, the Middle East, and the war in Ukraine. We also light a candle for our country today, that we may reach out to others with love and compassion and justice for all people. Now, at this time, you are invited to come forward as you feel called to do so. I invite you to come forward along the far wall, and we have our prayer stand against the wall. You may fill out a prayer card and place it on the stand. You may light your own candle of joy or concern, or you may simply place a stone in our shared water together. We now light a few more candles for the things in our hearts which remain unspoken, and also for those who are joining us virtually to honor what is in their hearts as well. At this time, we will enter into a period of quiet rest, meditation, or prayer. And I invite you during this time to deepen your breath and settle more into your body, and to slowly, with each breath, breathe in love. And as you slowly exhale, to breathe out love to all those around you.
This morning's wisdom reading is entitled In the Beginning, words from Rachel Naomi Remen. In the beginning there was only holy darkness, the Ein Sof, the source of life. And then, in the course of history, at a moment in time, this world, the world of 1,000,000 things, emerged from the heart of the holy darkness as a great ray of light. And then, perhaps because this is a Jewish story, there was an accident. and the vessels containing the light of the world, the wholeness of the world, broke. And the wholeness of the world, the light of the world, was scattered into 1,000 fragments of light, and they fell into all events and all people, where they remain deeply hidden until this very day. Now, according to my grandfather, the whole human race is a response to this accident. We are here because we're born with the capacity to find the hidden light in all events, in all people, to lift it up and make it visible once again, and thereby to restore the innate wholeness of the world. It is a very important story for our times. And this task is called Tikkun Olam in Hebrew. It is the restoration of the world. And this is, of course, a collective task. It involves all people who have ever been born, all people who presently are alive, all people yet to be born. We are healers of the world. And that story opens a sense of possibility. It is not about healing the world by making a huge difference. It's about healing the world that touches you, that's all around you.
So a great deal has happened in the past week since we last gathered for worship. Now, it was a while back when I began to work with this monthly theme of repair. And weeks ago, as I started looking at this, I was well aware that this Sunday, after the election, had many unknowns. And there's still so very much we do not know. So many things about the coming months that will unfold. Now, I know for many of our congregation, this has been a very challenging past few days as I have spoken with you. Sorry, let me take another sip here. So I know that in the past few days, this has been very challenging for many people as I've spoken and had interactions. People are scared, angry, uncertain, numb, anxious, and so many other types of feelings. Now, on Wednesday, and as I was communicating with so many other clergy as well on Wednesday, I looked at the sermon title I chose about 6 weeks ago, Repairing the Great Divide. And I decided to keep that title today. How do we repair that which seems so irretrievably broken? How do we repair the gulf with systems and people who are not mindful of the life and well-being of others? Our wisdom reading today has the phrase, "We are all healers of the world." We are all healers of the world. Repairing the Great Divide. This is ongoing, lifelong, generational work to be healers of the world, to stand in the breach and offer love. Now, our values as UUs are justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. Our covenant as UUs is grounded in these values. Now, you don't have to have the covenant, the principles, or the values memorized to be here, okay? The only thing you really need to remember is that love is always at the center. What is important about our community is that love is always at the center. This long journey of repairing the Great Divide means that we embody our values and we keep love at the center. Now, too many people in this world think that if someone leads with love, if someone embodies love at the core, that means they're just some sweet little pushover who never offers any kind of judgment or takes a stand or find ways to fight nonviolently for those who are being harmed. And I think many of us can think of examples in our world where someone who leads with love, who's kind and nice and respectful, is just seen as someone you can walk all over. Now, as I think about that and what it means to lead with love, especially in today's world, a story that comes to mind is from the New Testament about the Rabbi Jesus. One day he came into the temple courtyard, and the temple was the holiest site for the Jewish people in Jerusalem. And this courtyard, the entrance to this holiest site, was one that had been overrun with money changers, with people who were selling items for worship there in the temple, items they had greatly marked up. They were filled with greed, just trying to make money, a lot of money, off people who were there with worship, people who oftentimes had so very little and were in pain and were looking for hope and love and justice. Jesus was one person who always maintained that love was the most important thing. Even when it went against the law of the land or the practice of religious authorities, love was the most important thing. The center of his teaching was treating others the way that we want to be treated, which is actually a foundational principle in all the major world religions. Treat others the way that you want to be treated. And this focus on love at the center of Jesus' teaching led to an act of righteous anger that day in the temple courtyard. He physically overturned the tables of the greedy people who were only there for themselves, only there to line their own pocketbooks, not caring about the people who were hurting, who were in pain, who came there to worship. Jesus even called them a den of vipers, all those money changers, as he violently disrupted that system that day. He would not allow for greed to take precedence over people. Leading with love does not mean that we sit passively by and say nice things. Leading with love means we stand in the breach, especially in solidarity with those who are most vulnerable in our society. Now, all of you should have a piece of paper in your bulletin If you don't, maybe just rip off a little bit of the paper of the bulletin. And in just a few moments, I'm going to invite you to write down what you have felt in recent days, all the different feelings, emotions. And if you need a pen or pencil, just hold your hand up, and we have people who are going to get those to you. But I invite you to write down what you have felt in recent days and what you would like to release to the universe. And no, this is a process. We don't just say, okay, I'm releasing whatever I feel today, and then I've gone past that. We will continue to do this over and over again to release what it is we are experiencing, to release it so that we can move forward with love. Now, once you've written it down, you'll see I have the black cauldron up here, and I will invite you to come forward and to place that paper in there. I have all the papers from our early service in Salisbury. And then once our service is concluded today, I will take all those papers and I'll take them outside, and I will burn these things. All this you have experienced and felt this week, we will burn. It will be released in smoke to the universe. So at this time, I invite you to write down and then to bring those papers up to the cauldron. We are all healers of the world. Now, as you leave our service in just a few minutes, there is a sheet of paper on the back table, And that paper has some ideas about how we can lead with love, how we can be healers for ourselves and for the world in the coming weeks and months. Now, those 10 things is not an all-inclusive list. It's just a beginning. And I invite you to take that list, to spend some time with it. Think about how you can work with that. Then talk with your friends. Talk with people here in the church, in small groups, or with chalice circles. Brainstorm ideas about how we can lead with love, individually and communally. And for those who are watching this virtually, just shoot me an email and I will send you out that list. Now, I'll end today's message with these words from Everything is Still on Fire by Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto. I am sorry that everything is still on fire. Once hate catches, the winds of not my problem blow and blaze, and it's hard to stop. But hard is not impossible. Not yet is different than never. You and community have an answer. You have a response to systems of power and control. We are all healers of the world. Let us go forth and lead with love. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Thank you, Anne. Your music always makes me feel better. Let there now be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. This month we're sharing our offering plate for with Hearts for the Invisible. Hearts for the Invisible mission is to eradicate housing inequities for people experiencing homelessness. Their vision is that everyone has equal access to dignified housing. We ask that you place your gift in the basket as they make their way around the room. And of course, you're always welcome to give online at puuc.org or by texting PUUC at the number 73256. Today's offering will now very gratefully be received.
We give thanks for your generous spirits, which are helping to spread light and love and healing in our world. I invite you now to please rise and body your spirit for our closing hymn. It's found in our Till hymnal, number 1023, Building Bridges, and we will sing it through 3 times. Before we extinguish our chalice, I offer thanks for all the many volunteers who helped make our service possible today. I also ask that if you can please take your hymnals and place them on the cart near the piano after the service. That's always a big help. Now let us do as we do each Sunday and take a moment in this continued spirit of this sacred space. Take a moment to give thanks for that for which we are grateful today. Yes.
Freedom to vote.
Okay, resilience and freedom to vote.
Sky won't fall in.
The sun's still shining. How about that? Yes, it's still up in the sky.
Chance to be together today.
Yeah, chance to be together today.
Fall weather.
Fall weather.
Family, both natural and found.
Family, natural and found.
Survival today.
For, what was that, hon?
Survival today.
The weather today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary. Mhm. We give thanks for all these things and so much more for which we are grateful today. Let's go forth knowing that we are healers of the world and that we lead with love. We now extinguish our chalice, but we carry its light, its warmth, and its meaning with us until we meet again. May we go in peace, believe in peace, create peace wherever we may wander. Now for our closing song, we form a circle. You may hold hands if you would like to, or you may place your hands on your heart. And also, please don't forget to get your list of 10 things that you can do that's on the back table.